Two Stupid Dogs was initially perceived as Hanna-Barbera's response to the earlier hit show Ren and Stimpy, bringing its own unique flavor to the world of animation. These titular dogs, as the name suggests, aren't known for their intelligence. The show revolves around the misadventures of these two unnamed dogs, with the big dog more than often focusing on nothing but food. On the other hand, the little dog seems to be way stupider than the big dog, but he has the confidence level of Captain America. The animation style in the first season drew inspiration from the simplicity of early Hanna-Barbera cartoons from the 50s and 60s, but infused it with the humor of the early 90s. Considered by many as a precursor to world premiere tunes, Two Stupid Dogs paved the way for beloved classics like Dexter's Laboratory, The Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, and Dumb and Dumber. What sets it apart is its ability to blend humor with surprising philosophical insights as well as adult humor for those with keen eyes. In this video, we will explore a few of the best shorts that the show ever produced. And trust me, these stories hold enough value and relevance even today, which makes it absurdly addictive. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. What was the show all about? Exploring the story arc. A quarter. The Two Stupid Dogs were once again taking a stroll when they came across a payphone off the hook. Someone had been using it but forgot to place it back, so the IVR recording kept asking for 25 cents. Of course, the little dog wanted to be obedient and deposit the quarter into the machine, but they did not have a coin. The little dog took the big dog to a cash machine and tried to drop in a paper in return for a quarter, something that he had watched humans do. It's much later that he realizes that he has to drop in $1, which the dogs didn't have. They came across a psychiatric test that could earn them $1 if they contributed to the psychiatric tests and provided help worth $5,000, which they again did not have. To earn the $5,000, they go to a guy promising a get-rich-quick scheme, but the guy wanted $10,000 to get them started on the path to earn $5,000. Well, that sounds a bit familiar. So where do they get the 10 grand? Well, the dogs went to a bank to ask for a loan, but the big dog scared the teller and she hit the alarm. The police arrived and the teller helped them with a sketch of the big dog. The little dog turns the big dog in and gets the $10,000 reward. He takes it to the get-rich-quick guy who gives him the 5 grand, which he takes to the psychiatrist who gives him $1 in exchange for 5 grand. The little dog then takes the $1 to the cash machine and gets the 25 cents, which he uses on the payphone to talk to the big dog who is now in prison.
Well, forever, or even till Christmas, but I don't care. I'm staying with you.
Really?
Home is where your head is. The two friends were taking a stroll when the big dog struck his head through a hole in a fence. The little dog immediately assumed that his friend's head was stuck in the hole. He tried all he could to get his big, stupid friend out of the hole, but to no avail. Of course, the big dog was there by choice. His head was not even stuck. He was just there in that state because the little dog, in a moment of panic, asked his friend to not move from there, and the big dog obliged. Well, almost. The big dog pulled out his head on at least 2 occasions to speak to the little dog, which of course went unnoticed. The little dog struggled and struggled to get his friend out of the hole. He pulled and pushed, but nothing helped. In the end, the little dog's willpower ran out. He decided that it was time for them to part ways, to live lives separately. So the little dog went on his journey, but missed the big dog. It wasn't the same anymore, he kept saying. He ultimately decided that his home was where his friend was. In fact, a friend of mine recently told me that the company mattered, not the place, and it just fits here in every sense. So the little dog returned to his friend and brought him all kinds of things, from a vacuum cleaner to a corkscrew. He then used the corkscrew to punch a little hole in the fence and stuck his head inside it.
Who was that? I saw that. Don't think I didn't see that, because I did.
Love in the park. The Two Stupid Dogs do a lot of things together, from visiting casinos in Vegas to spending a day in the park, which is what this story is about. The little dog finds a little toy dog and falls truly and madly in love with her. In fact, it happens pretty quickly, and the relationship and his behavior have all the signs of a super toxic relationship. The toy dog doesn't do anything apart from barking like a female dog would, in a shrill voice. Oh, and she would do a flip. The little dog would see her do these things and just assume things as if she were actually communicating. From falling in love with her to saying that she was eating all his space up, there's nothing that he did not tell her. In fact, he even thought that she had an eye for another dog and accused her of seeing through him. So the little dog realized that she was not really made for him and that things were not working out between the two of them, and all of this happened within a span of minutes. I guess the stupid dog was, in fact, stupid. It wasn't before long that they were about to part ways, but she backflipped once again, and the little dog thought that she was asking to get married. He took her to meet the best man, the big dog, but he gulped her down the throat, ending everyone's miseries, or maybe just the little dog's.
Take off your shoe! Woo!
Toxic relationships. Door Jam. The first episode of the show really sets the tone for the entire show, defining the characters in the best possible way. The big dog was having the best day of his life while chewing in peace, a stray can that he had found. But things went crazy when he lost the can. The two stupid dogs kept looking at the can toppling down, crossing hurdles, and toppling down some more. It ended up on the other side of an automatic door. Well, what's next? They decided they had to get their can back, at all costs. And thus began an adventure that was equal parts thrilling and obnoxious. The two stupid dogs reached their hyper store where the can was, but they could not figure out how to have the door open to get the can out. The little dog noticed that people would easily have the door open for them. He kept looking and finally figured out that the doors opened for the people because they had shoes on, something that the dogs lacked. So they began hunting for shoes, all kinds of shoes, even Cinderella's, and no, I'm not kidding. Ultimately, they did manage to get themselves a huge pile of shoes, but the door opened on its own when the big dog sat in front of the door. Well, sensors. The two stupid dogs walked inside and had possession of the can for a while, but the excitement soon turned to sorrow when they lost the can once again after getting trapped inside. Throughout the show, the big dog is depicted as extremely lazy and rather morose. On the other hand, the little dog was full of excitement and energy. He would react in the most amazing fashion to every positive or negative incident.
Where's my bone? My bone!
Where's the bone? In another obnoxiously funny episode, the little dog finds out that his precious bone is missing, although he had kept it on his head and forgot about it. Too bad the show did not have any mirrors, but I am not entirely sure if a mirror would have helped because the stupid big dog could see the bone throughout. Nevertheless, the little dog recruits the big dog to find the precious little bone. The little dog says that they have to go everywhere for the bone, and they go literally everywhere in its search, even space. They first end up in the Egyptian deserts, where they find riches and a genie, but of course, the little dog wastes his 3 wishes. From there, the two stupid dogs travel to every imaginable location, from mountains and beaches to jungles and plains. In fact, it turns out that the little dog-like god was worshipped by tribals from the Amazon rainforests. Nevertheless, they cover the entire world, but failed to find the stupid bone. Once there was no ground to cover, they went underwater, and when even that did not help, the two stupid dogs found themselves on the moon. It was only close to the end of the episode that the little dog found his precious bone. He then asks the big dog where he should keep the bone so that it's always safe. And guess what the big dog suggested? Well, the top of the little dog's head. Often the things we strive hard to find are right under our nose, or well, on the top of the head in this case. At the drive-in. So, the dogs see an intermission commercial for a snack bar at a drive-in theater. The giant screen obviously showed the popcorn, drinks, and hot dogs at giant sizes, and the dogs thought that the food was the actual size shown on the screen. They could not be more wrong. Of course, they wanted to get the food. When the two of them showed up at the counter, the cashier told them that no pets were allowed, so the little dog put the big dog in the trunk and got the big dog inside for free. So they just bought one ticket and the big dog got in for free. The little dog wanted the same, to get in for free of cost. So they drove back around, and this time the little dog was in the trunk. Nevertheless, they began looking for the snack bar, but digressed quite a few times. They even resorted to watching the movie for a while when all the cars started jumping. Anyway, upon reaching the snack bar, they found that the food was actually the regular size. Yet, they did get themselves more food than they could finish in a night, and soon it was morning again. Misleading commercials. Seeing eye dogs. Well, Mr. Hollywood finds himself temporarily blind after a visit to the ophthalmologist, so he goes to buy a seeing eye dog. Well, because of his blindness, he finds himself at a wig store instead of a pet shop. But since he was offering a lot of money in cash, the salesperson agreed to see what he could do. Of course, the big dog and the little dog were picked up by the salesman and presented as the seeing eye dogs, one for each eye. The big dog wanted a fire hydrant, and he was pretty desperate for it, while Mr. Hollywood just wanted to get home, and leading the party was the little dog who had absolutely no idea where Mr. Hollywood's house was. But being the overconfident personality that he is, he was pretty sure about knowing a shortcut. The shortcut to where? Well, no one really knows that. Nevertheless, the little dog leads them to a construction site, and the next few minutes play out like a more violent version of the movie Baby's Day Out, especially the part where that cute kid goes to the construction site. As they cut through the construction yard, chaos envelops the trio like air envelops the earth. In the end, Mr. Hollywood's eyesight comes back and he chooses to go his own way. But of course, as soon as he starts to walk, he gets hit by a fire truck. Well, at least the big dog was happy that he would finally find his hydrant. Pet spooks. So the little dog's been dying to get himself a nice piece of bone. So what's the best place a dog can find himself a bone? Well, yes, a cemetery of course, but not just some ordinary cemetery. He goes to a pet cemetery named Pause and Reflect to dig up that bone, and as usual, the big dog follows his buddy. Upon reaching the cemetery, they dig up the grave of a monkey named Pee-Pee. Do you have any guesses who this dead monkey once belonged to? Well, Mrs. Hollywood, yes. She had come to mourn her monkey, but before that could happen, the little dog fell into the grave and had Pee-Pee's skull stuck on his head. The big dog didn't realize his friend's predicament and ran away, cowering at the sight of the little dog. Mrs. Hollywood also got scared of the little dog and assumed that Pee-Pee had come back to haunt her for treating him harshly. Mrs. Hollywood concedes that she could have taken better care of Pee-Pee. After a lot of difficulties, the little dog manages to get the skull out of his head, but not before experiencing several concussions. And as for Mrs. Hollywood, she found herself in Pee-Pee's grave, which gave the story something of a poetic justice. Sheepdogs. The two stupid dogs ended up serving as sheepdogs for Mr. Hollywood's sheep. Well, as would be expected, the two dogs were not entirely professional with their job. After waking up late for the roundup, the two of them wanted to eat, but Mr. Hollywood was not someone who went easy on his personnel. According to him, there would be no food until a few tasks were done. So basically, the two stupid dogs had to earn their breakfast, but that meant trouble, a whole lot of it. The little dog struggled with just one sheep throughout the episode, while the big dog took care of the rest of the herd. Once the sheep were in the barn, they had to be trimmed for their wool. It was only at the end of the day that the two dogs got to eat the first meal of the day. Oh, and Mr. Hollywood had trimmed the two stupid dogs as well. This short was actually an intelligent take on the way people are made to work more than they are paid for by corporations that hold power. When you need a job and making ends meet becomes rather impossible, one does what one can, without giving a thought to if one should do those things. Why is the show relevant even today? As you may have noticed, the show is more than a cartoon show for kids. It speaks a lot about adult life and the issues that come with adulting. From blood-sucking corporations and people who want to exploit you to more personal subjects like love and friendship, Two Stupid Dogs explores nearly everything. Of course, I did not explore all the shorts that have been featured in the show, but it's fairly evident what the basic theme of the show is. It cleverly incorporates adult concepts and humor that make it relevant for older audiences as well. The show often includes subtle commentary on various aspects of society. It satirizes human behavior, relationships, and societal norms, which adults can appreciate as they relate to real-life experiences. Furthermore, it excels at surreal humor, presenting bizarre and absurd situations. This type of intelligent comedy often appeals to adults who enjoy comedy that goes beyond the conventional and predictable. Some episodes feature dark and morbid jokes that can be appreciated by adult viewers who enjoy such stuff and do not get offended. The show doesn't shy away from exploring unconventional comedic themes. Of course, there is wordplay, irony, and clever word choices which add layers to how interesting the cartoon is. For those who grew up watching Two Stupid Dogs during its original run, revisiting the show can be a nostalgic experience, and universal themes like friendship, love, and misunderstanding can be appreciated by viewers of all ages. Each episode is short and self-contained, making it easy for both kids and grown-ups to enjoy. I guess all of these things make Two Stupid Dogs an exceptionally addictive show. You can't watch just one. Marvelous Verdict. This show, often considered the precursor to the world premiere Toons and the What a Cartoon series, paved the way for beloved classics like Dexter's Laboratory, The Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, and Dumb and Dumber. The series has a string of memorable shorts, a few of which I mention in this video. What sets Two Stupid Dogs apart is its ability to blend humor with philosophical insights. One notable episode features the big dog imparting wisdom to Kenny, emphasizing the importance of love as a key to happiness and encouraging resilience in the face of rejection. As I embarked on a journey to revisit the show, I was afraid that these shows might not hold up to my memories. However, Two Stupid Dogs pleasantly surprised me. While the animation may be simple, the humor whimsical, and the themes occasionally questionable, the show reflects a time when creators enjoyed more creative freedom. The two titular dogs, each with their distinct personalities, offer endless entertainment. The small dog's hyperactive and excitable nature contrasts with the larger dog's laid-back demeanor, resulting in unpredictable adventures. You'd notice the inclusion of subtle adult humor, cleverly hidden for the keen-eyed viewer. These subtle nods, as seen in the episode at the drive-in, add an extra layer of enjoyment. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!